My beloved child, be still and listen. I am the one who called you here. This did not find you by accident, nor did you stumble upon it in passing. I have arranged this moment for you precisely now, because something sacred must be placed in your spirit. This is not a sermon to scroll past. This is a holy summons. Feel the stirring in your chest, the quickening in your spirit. This is heaven answering your presence. You have asked me in the midnight hours, do you still see me? Am I still chosen? Have you forgotten my name? Hear me. I am not whispering tonight. I am thundering. What I am about to speak will shake the foundations beneath your doubt and steady the ground beneath your feet. You who have carried years of burdens, who have wrestled with disappointment and wandered through fog, come closer. I have brought you to the threshold of a message that will not only mark your next season, but touch the edges of your eternity. I will tell you what I am commanding you to eat, why heaven is holding its breath for your response, and why your spirit leapt when you arrived. A portal has opened before you, and your name is written upon it in light. Turn away now, and you will miss what I wrote for you alone. Remain with me, and I will place in you what cannot be taken. As you receive this word, respond to me. Activate what I am releasing through this vessel. Press like to align your signal. Subscribe so you do not miss what I pour out here. Share this message with one you love, and write Nanur 777 in the comments as a prophetic sign that you are ready to receive. Welcome to this channel where I speak to the weary, the faithful, the almost fainting, and the newly awakened. Stay near, open your heart. I am here, and I am about to feed your spirit with what I have prepared for you. Chosen one, listen carefully to me. My time is not your time. You measure your days by clocks and calendars, but I move by eternity's decree. While you wait for a moment that feels safe, while you tell yourself that tomorrow you will surrender, I am declaring to you now, the hour is already upon you. Heaven's clock has struck and the sound echoes louder than your excuses. I am not asking you to wait until you feel more prepared, until your fears have settled, or until life has arranged itself neatly around you. I am commanding you in this moment, with all the love and authority of heaven, to step forward. You have been sitting in the waiting room of your own destiny for too long. Years have slipped by as you rehearsed the reasons you could not move yet. You have whispered bargains in prayer as if your salvation, your calling, and your breakthrough were business contracts that could be postponed until the timing suited you. Hear me. Salvation is not a negotiation. Destiny does not bend to your hesitation. When I call now. When I open a door, it is for you to walk through now. Delay is the language of doubt, and doubt has stolen too many years from you already. Remember my servant Moses. I did not appear to him in the burning bush to say, "When you are ready, then go." I did not wait for him to clear his schedule or to feel worthy. I called him in that moment, standing barefoot on holy ground, to deliver a people. Consider Mary, my chosen vessel for the Christ. When the angel came to her, he did not say, "Take your time, weigh your options, decide when it feels convenient." No, the word was delivered, and her spirit leapt in faith. Be it unto me according to your word. Think of the disciples. When my son walked by and said, "Follow me," he did not add, "Perhaps when your nets are mended, when the fish are sold, when your families have given approval." No, his voice carried the weight of eternity, and they left everything immediately to walk in destiny. The same urgency resounds for you. The golden train of heaven has pulled into your station, and the whistle is blowing. You can feel the ground trembling beneath your feet, the air heavy with anticipation. This is not metaphor. This is your moment of divine intervention. Either you step onto the train and let it carry you into what I have prepared, or you remain paralyzed on the platform, watching what was meant for you leave without you. My child, hesitation is the enemy's most subtle weapon. While you analyze, the opportunity closes. While you ask for one more sign, one more confirmation, one more emotional push to validate what your spirit already knows, the door swings shut. You have cried in the midnight hours, wondering if I still see you. Every tear you have shed has watered the soil of your destiny. Every trial that nearly broke you has been shaping you into the vessel that could carry my glory. Every delay, though painful, has been preparation for this divine intersection. You think you are behind schedule, but you are right on time for what I ordained. Yet when I spread before you the feast of answered prayers, when I swing wide the door of heaven, when I set before you everything you once begged me for in the depths of your despair, you hesitate. You tell yourself you need more strength, more faith, more clarity. But what you really need is obedience. Immediate, wholehearted, unflinching obedience. Picture the table I have prepared for you. The fragrance of provision rises into the air, rich with every promise I have spoken over your life. Spread before you are the answers you once thought forgotten, the opportunities you once believed had passed you by, the healing you long prayed for, the breakthrough you whispered about in your loneliness. I place this feast before you, and my voice thunders, not in wrath, but in love stronger than thunder. Eat. Do not wait. Do not question. Do not excuse yourself from the table of your own destiny. The paralysis of perfectionism has robbed my children of more miracles than any demon in hell. You wait until you are ready, but readiness is not the condition of obedience. Readiness is the result of obedience. You think you need one more degree, one more open door, one more assurance before you step. But I tell you, the moment you step, you will find that I've already given you everything you need. You think you need to be stronger, braver, wiser. But I say to you, you are strong enough because I am with you. You are brave enough because I go before you, and you are wise enough because my spirit lives within you. Do you not see? The waiting has never been about whether you are ready for the assignment. The waiting has always been about whether you will trust me enough to move when I say move. You do not need another year of preparation. You do not need a safer moment. The moment is now. I have declared it, and my word does not return void. My beloved, your heart is pounding even as you hear this. Your spirit is leaping within you, wrestling against the chains of hesitation. That is the witness of heaven stirring in you. Do not silence it. Do not press it down beneath logic or fear. Respond to me. Say it out loud. Let the earth and the heavens hear your declaration. I will not miss it. Write it so that others can see. Type it so that angels record it. Proclaim it so that demons tremble. This is your public yes to a private calling. I know the weight of your years. I know how often you have convinced yourself it was too late, that opportunities have passed, that you have missed your chance. But hear me. Nothing I ordain can be stolen. What I have prepared is waited for you. And now I tell you plainly, eat. Do not look back on this moment with regret. Do not let fear keep you in the waiting room one more day. Rise up, Take the bread I offer, drink the cup I pour, and step into the life you were created to live. I am not giving you tomorrow. I am not writing another invitation on golden parchment with your name in calligraphy. I am speaking now. My spirit is moving now. My power is present now. You have asked for a sign. This is it. You have asked for clarity. I am giving it. You have asked if I still see you. My voice is the answer. Stop negotiating. Stop delaying. Stop doubting. Open your mouth and eat what I have placed before you. Every moment of hesitation allows the enemy to whisper louder. Every pause gives fear another foothold. But your obedience silences him. Your yes in this moment breaks chains that have held you for decades. Your step of faith ignites a fire that will carry through the rest of your days. Do not underestimate what I can do with a single act of obedience. The Red Sea parted at one command. Walls of Jericho fell at one shout. Lives were changed at the simple words, "Follow me." What could happen in your life if you simply obey now? You are not standing before a God who negotiates. You are standing before a Father who commands because he loves. My love will not allow you to waste away in hesitation. My love will not let you sit at the edge of your destiny and die in fear. My love commands you because I know what waits on the other side of your yes. So I say again with the voice of heaven, eat. Do not wait for another season. Do not hope for another time. This is your hour. This is your moment. Rise, take your place, and taste the goodness that has been prepared for you. And let all creation be witness as you declare, I will not miss it. Chosen one, remain close to me, for what I am about to reveal will pierce deeper into your spirit than what you have yet received. You have heard my command to eat, but now I will tell you what it is that I place before you. It is not the food of men, not a sweet substance to spread on bread in the morning, not a delicacy to satisfy the body for a fleeting hour. The honey that I compel you to eat is my living word, sweeter than any honey you have ever known. As the psalmist declared, how sweet are your words to my taste, sweeter than honey to my mouth. When you take in this word, you are not tasting mere words on a page. You are consuming life itself, spirit and truth entering the marrow of your soul. This is nourishment that does not fade, sustenance that does not expire, sweetness that fills you with wisdom, strength, and revelation. Why do I call it honey? Because honey never spoils. Even after thousands of years sealed in the tombs of kings, long forgotten, honey remains pure, uncorrupted, and potent. My word is the same. It does not decay. It does not lose its power. It is eternal, enduring beyond centuries, beyond kingdoms, beyond the rise and fall of empires. And when I place this honey before you, it is because I know you need food that will not wither, wisdom that will not sour, truth that will not fade. The promises you receive from me are not temporary. The wisdom I give does not expire. Like honey, my word retains its sweetness, its healing, and its preserving strength throughout every generation, untouched by time, untouched by the corruption of this world. Hear the wisdom of Proverbs. Eat honey, my child, for it is good, and honey from the comb is sweet to your taste. Know also that wisdom is like honey for you. Do you see? I am not commanding you to devour sugar or empty sweetness. I am commanding you to take in wisdom itself. Wisdom that guards your steps, wisdom that lights your path, wisdom that shields your soul from destruction. The honey I set before you is the revelation of my word, and when you consume it, you are not merely learning, you are transforming. The substance of heaven enters your spirit and rewrites what doubt and despair have written into your being. Just as honey has power in the body, so my word has power in your spirit. Scientists speak of the complex sugars within honey, the oligosaccharides that reprogram what is within, strengthening and renewing even the hidden places of the body. If this is true for what comes from bees, how much more true for what comes from me? When you consume my honey, the very structure of your inner being is renewed. Your spiritual DNA, which has long carried the marks of fear, shame, and sin, begins to awaken to the codes I placed within you from the beginning. What was dormant stirs. What was buried rises. What was broken begins to heal. Think of my servant Ezekiel, to whom I handed the scroll and commanded, "Eat." He obeyed, and as it touched his tongue, it became sweet like honey in his mouth. But it did more than satisfy his taste. It transformed his calling. It turned him into a prophet of power, a mouthpiece through whom my spirit thundered. The act of consuming what I gave him changed everything, because my word, when received, does not merely inform, it reforms. It rebuilds the inner life until the vessel becomes strong enough to carry what I have destined. This is what I set before you now. 3 drops of this honey are enough to unlock the codes that have slept within your soul since the day you first breathed. They are the keys that connect your mortal frame to eternal realms. My child, when you taste, you will know that you are chosen. When you eat, you will feel your assignment awaken within you. Your body may grow weary, your emotions may falter, but your spirit will stand in new authority, because it will recognize the covenant written upon it since before time. Do not dismiss this as mysticism or imagination. Do not shield yourself with skepticism. You know the hunger within you. You have listened to countless words that left you emptier than before. You have prayed prayers that seemed to vanish into silence. You have carried a famine in your spirit without knowing how to name it. That famine is for my word alive within you. Only my honey can satisfy what your soul craves. You have wandered into churches and sermons, yet walked out still thirsty. You have whispered prayers in the night and felt them bounce against the ceiling. But when you consume what I am placing before you tonight, you will no longer be hungry without knowing why. You will no longer starve with a full table in front of you. You will eat, and it will become fuel in your bones. You will drink, and it will become fire in your spirit. You will take in the sweetness of revelation, and it will sustain you through desserts you could not endure before. My honey is sacred fuel. It is not the fleeting satisfaction of comfort. It is the very wisdom that builds your future, the sweetness that heals your wounds, the revelation that unlocks your calling. Just 3 drops can shift the course of your destiny, because 3 drops can awaken the eternal code that has been waiting for this very moment. This code is not written in ink or stone. It is written in the deepest places of your being, waiting for the touch of my word to set it alive. Now I speak to you with holy urgency. If you have felt me pulling you into deeper waters, if you have felt stirrings within you that your mind cannot explain, then respond to me. Do not keep silent. Do not hide behind hesitation. Lift your hand in faith, even here, even now, and declare that you are ready. Let heaven see your yes. Let angels record your willingness. Let all of creation witness that you are finished with empty games of religion and ready for the fullness of supernatural reality. I have prepared this moment not to entertain you, but to awaken you. You are not called to drift in shadows of faith that never reach power. You are called to stand in the fire of revelation that transforms you from within. Stop clinging to the surface when I'm inviting you into the depths. Stop tasting crumbs when I am setting honey before you. Stop circling questions when I am offering answers sweeter than anything you have ever known. This honey is not for the casual. It is for the hungry. It is for the ones who have pressed through long nights of doubt, who have carried disappointment in silence, who have wondered if I have abandoned them. I tell you, I have not abandoned you. I have been waiting for this moment when you would finally stretch out your hand, open your mouth, and taste that I'm good. And once you taste, you will never again wonder if I see you. You will know that I have chosen you, and that my choice cannot be undone. So come, chosen one. Take what I offer. Let it melt on your tongue, seep into your soul, and awaken what has long been hidden. End the famine, end the delay, end the cycle of searching without finding. Tonight, let heaven watch as you choose to consume what I have prepared. Tonight, let the sweetness of my word become the strength of your life. And tonight, let all that has been asleep within you awaken to its purpose. For you were not created to starve. You were created to eat and to live. Declare it now. Let the heavens and the earth hear your voice. You will not play games any longer. You will not live on crumbs. You will eat the honey. You will embrace the wisdom. You will rise in the fullness of your calling. Say it before me. Write it where angels can see. Proclaim it where demons tremble. I am done with delay. I will consume what the Lord has given. This is your moment. This is the sweetness that changes everything. This is the honey of heaven, and it is yours now. Chosen one, listen to me with the stillness of your spirit, for I am about to reveal a mystery you have overlooked for far too long. Those restless nights you have endured, those hours when your eyes would not close, though your body was weary, they have not been random. They were not curses, nor accidents, nor mere interruptions of your natural rest. They were my appointments with you. I have been calling you in the midnight hours, summoning you when the veil between heaven and earth is thinnest, when the distractions of the day fall silent, when your spirit is most able to hear what I long to whisper. You thought your sleeplessness was caused by stress, by aging, by the burdens that lie heavy on your heart. Yet I tell you, it was I who stirred your spirit awake. For I do not only speak in daylight. When noise and duties consume your mind, I choose the stillness of midnight to draw you near. Remember what is written in my word. At midnight I rise to give you thanks, O Lord. Psalm 119:62. David knew the secret of midnight. He understood that when the clock of men strikes the end of a day, the clock of heaven strikes the beginning of the supernatural. Midnight is not the end of what has been. It is the birth of what is to come. Why do I call you between midnight and 3 in the morning? Because this is the hour when spiritual warfare rages most fiercely. It is the hour when the enemy believes he owns the darkness, when he unleashes his fiercest schemes against souls who slumber unguarded. But I declare to you now, I am reclaiming the night through my chosen ones. You are part of that reclaiming. While demons rage, I stir your spirit awake to rise in praise, to stand in prayer, to eat the honey of revelation I offer in those sacred hours. Think of my servants Paul and Silas. In the dungeon at midnight, They prayed and sang hymns to me. The world slept, but the heavens leaned low to hear. And suddenly, an earthquake shook their chains loose, and doors that no man could open, swung wide. This is what happens when my children rise in the midnight hour. Chains break, prison doors fall. What was impossible becomes possible because my presence is thick in the night. Look at the patterns I have woven into history. Was not my son born in the darkness of night, as angels announced his coming to shepherds awake under the stars? Did not darkness cover the earth at the hour of his death, as creation itself groaned at the weight of redemption? Did not the resurrection dawn in the early hours before the sun rose, when the world believed hope was gone? Was not my covenant given to Moses upon Sinai in the shadows, the mountain cloaked in clouds and thunder? Again and again, I have chosen the hours men dismiss as silence to unleash my greatest works. The night is mine, and in it I do wonders. So hear me now. Your sleeplessness is not a curse, but a calling. Those nights when you toss and turn, believing I have forgotten you, are the very moments I am drawing you closer. I whisper, "Come up here, beloved. Leave behind the noise of the day. Step into my presence where nothing competes for your attention. For in those hours between midnight and 3, your spirit is most sensitive, uncluttered by the 1,000 distractions that drown out my voice in the light of day. When the world sleeps, I invite you into the banquet of my word. When silence falls, I open the heavens. The honey I commanded you to eat is most potent when consumed in the quiet of the night. In these sacred hours, I download into your spirit revelations that will change everything about your tomorrow. One act of obedience at midnight can alter the course of your destiny more than a lifetime of striving in daylight. Stay asleep and you miss it. Wake in faith and you walk through gates only heaven could open. Do not think this is mysticism. It is the rhythm of my spirit. I said through my prophet Isaiah, "My word will not return to me void, but will accomplish what I desire." Isaiah 55:11. I promised that those who seek me early will find me. What is earlier than the silence of midnight, when no one else calls your name, when no voice but mine can be heard? This is the hour I set apart for the chosen, the hour when angels bend close, listening for the sound of your yes. Chosen one, do not sleep through your appointment. Do not let weariness steal what I long to give you. When I stir you awake, rise and meet me. Sing as Paul and Silas sang. Pray as David prayed. Wait in silence as Moses waited on Sinai. Watch as the chains you thought would never break fall in pieces at your feet. This is not superstition. This is covenant time. The night belongs to me, and I have chosen you to be part of my reclaiming of it. So when I wake you in those hours, do not curse the restlessness. Do not dismiss it as meaningless. Recognize it for what it is, an invitation. Recognize that I am drawing you into revelation I cannot give you in the busyness of daylight. Recognize that I am positioning you to see what others miss. For when the night is darkest, my light shines brightest. And when the world is silent, my voice resounds with power. Now respond to me. Let heaven hear you. Declare with your lips and with your spirit that you are awake. Write it where others can see. Type it where angels record. Proclaim it where demons tremble. I am awake to the Lord. Let this be your answer, your yes, your covenant to rise when I call, to receive when I pour, to eat when I feed. For the hour is here, and the doors of heaven are opening. You have waited long enough. You are not being punished in sleeplessness. You are being invited into breakthrough. The night is not your enemy. It is your awakening. Beloved, the gates of heaven are poised to burst open, but they will not wait forever. Will you rise and eat? Will you meet me in the sacred silence of midnight? Will you let the sweetness of my honey fill you until chains break, until prayers are answered, until your destiny unfolds before you? Declare it now, chosen one. Say it before me and before heaven. You are awake. And know this, because you answered, the breakthrough you have waited for is already on its way. Chosen one, do not fear the stillness that settles over your body, for in that apparent paralysis, there is a purpose that your mind cannot yet measure. When your limbs rest and your chest grows quiet, your spirit is preparing to rise, like a rocket leaving gravity behind. The slowness of your flesh is not defeat, but prelude. This is not a disorder, but a divine detachment. In those moments when your frame lies motionless, I am freeing your soul to travel beyond the limits of sight. Just as Moses vanished into the cloud on Sinai, where human eyes could not follow. So I am inviting you into a place tonight where the senses of the flesh step aside and the capacities of the spirit expand. Be not afraid when your body stills. Understand that what looks like immobility is the hush before a holy ascent, a sacred calibration that prepares you to receive what only the heavens can give. Your consciousness will journey through realms I have prepared, each designed to strip away what has bound you to smallness. In one dimension, you will confront the shadows that have haunted your prayers, those doubts that whispered why, the fears that told you you were forgotten, the recurring questions that have kept you pacing in the night. In that 4D space, the things that tormented you will be exposed and melt like smoke under the sun of my presence. Every accusation and false narrative dissolving as truth floods in. You will stand in that quiet and watch the old wounds show themselves and then evaporate before the light. That exposure is not cruelty. It is necessary demolition, clearing the rubble so that the temple of your destiny can be rebuilt stronger and purer than before. Then I will lift you higher into a place beyond ordinary comprehension, a realm where time loosens its grip and pure light is the currency of exchange. In that 5D realm, you will know what my servant glimpsed when he was caught up to the third heaven. Time will cease to press you, pain will release its hold, and you will be wrapped in the warmth of my love. There you will taste restoration like warm honey poured over wounds, a tenderness that has waited decades to meet your deepest ache, and a healing that penetrates beneath scars the world assumed permanent. In that place, the Father's love will not be a theological concept, but an immediate, bodily experience that rearranges your inner chemistry and settles you in a peace that guards against despair. When your spirit returns from that journey and your body again breathes in the known world, you will not be the same. You will carry a frequency that belongs to heaven. A new code will hum through your bones. Your prayers will move with authority because they will be fueled by what you tasted in the secret place. They will no longer be petitions offered from scarcity, but declarations backed by covenant. Your faith will be kindled into a steady fire that does not flicker at the first wind, and your presence will begin to shift atmospheres. Where once heaviness gathered, peace will now rest. Where confusion reigned, clarity will break forth. Where oppression held sway, light will displace the shadow. Others will feel the change around you, and what you carry will become a doorway for those who stand near. Understand plainly, the honey I have given you this evening is only the beginning. What you taste in the silence is an entry point to covenant. Tonight's encounter opens a contract between heaven and your life, a binding that rearranges destiny. The sweetness passing your lips is not an end, but a seal. The first moistening of a covenant that will cause nations and circumstances to bend in favor of my people. Once you have eaten, you are not simply healed. You are enlisted and aligned. You are authorized to walk in a new assignment because covenant confers authority. And the authority bestowed upon you is not the fragile authority of flesh, but the weighty, irrevocable authority of heaven. Do not mistake the silence of your body for weakness. This quiet is the soil in which the seeds of your calling take root. While your nerves calm and your breath slows, unseen currents lift you into a place where angels take note, where the saints who have gone before cheer your faith, and where Jesus stands ready to entrust you with revelation that will change how you walk for the rest of your days. The paralysis of the flesh is evidence that the Spirit is at work. It is the sign that heaven is making room in you for a new measure of my presence. Receive this with reverence and do not shrink back from the process, for what is happening is ordered and purposeful. I tell you with utmost solemnity, what you will face in the lower dimensions is meant to be seen, processed, and then stripped away. What you will receive in the higher dimensions is meant to heal, to fill, and to equip. The breakdown precedes the breakthrough. The unmasking of false narratives prepares the heart for revelation. You will not be abandoned mid-journey. Restoration follows confrontation. The process is ordered by my wisdom, calibrated to bring about the fullness I intended for you from the beginning, so that what remains is a life shaped by my hand rather than by fear or regret. Once you have tasted these things, your ministry of prayer will change. Words you speak will not merely echo into the air. They will push against the heavens and move what I have ordained to move. The authority you carry will not be self-generated, but imparted, like a frequency tuned to heaven's rhythms. Doors that have resisted will begin to crack under the pressure of Spirit-led decrees, and miracles will not be isolated. Anomalies, but signs that accompany the movement I have begun within you. Your presence will become a locus of my power, and those who cross your path will find themselves touched by what you carry. And know this, beloved. The covenant that opens tonight will reorder more than your soul. It will ripple outward to your family, your work, and your community. When heaven's frequency visits a life, it does not stay confined. It changes climates. The feeding you receive in secret sends shockwaves into the public square, so that those closest to you will begin to encounter favor and doors opening in ways that surprise them. The hunger you once felt will become appetite for obedience. The doubts that plagued you will become testimonies of my faithfulness. Your life will be a channel through which my blessing flows to others, and many will be fed from what you were once starving to receive. Therefore, do not regard this night as a singular gift that can be shelved away. It is an initiation. From this point forward, your life is under a different accounting. The smallness that once defined your thinking will be challenged and replaced with vision. The timetable you kept will be rewritten according to my sovereign pace. You will move from scarcity into abundance, from confusion into clarity, from wandering into ordered purpose. I am not asking you to trust a momentary feeling. I am inviting you into a sustained reality that begins in the secret and overflows into the seen. Let this truth settle in you deeply. The paralysis you feared is not the enemy. It is a sacrament. It is the sacred pause that precedes the gift. It is the hush through which I pass my most intimate instructions. When your body stills and your spirit rises, say yes without hesitation. Do not argue with the process. Do not allow doubt to catalog every feeling and disqualify what I am doing. Receive the purification of the night and the illumination of the higher place, so that when you return, you will stand as one who has been tested and found of me, carrying the marks of encounter rather than the labels of defeat. I will restore the years that felt wasted in waiting, but only after you have allowed me to take you beyond the ceiling of your current understanding. That journey begins in the quiet, in the surrender of the flesh to the ascent of the spirit, and it continues into covenant that remains. Keep your heart soft to my leading and your mouth open to my feeding. Drink the warmth of my honey and let it dissolve the hardness in you. Allow the higher realm to bring healing that practical ministry could not supply. For there are wounds that only my presence can mend, and callings that only my touch can initiate. I call you to remember that every sacred pause is a recalibration of destiny, designed by my hand to align your heartbeat with heaven's tempo. Do not resent the silence. Let it be your tutor. In that hush, you will receive instruction that practical counsel could never supply, revelations that elective learning cannot teach, and the type of boldness that arises only when a man or woman has been face to face with my presence. Your courage will be birthed not from experience, but from encounter. Your steadiness will not depend on circumstance, but on the memory of my nearness. And your resolve will be formed by the pattern you receive in the secret. When you return from the realms I have allowed you to visit, store the memory of that encounter as a pattern for your days. Let it become the blueprint by which you resist temptation, the map that guides you through sorrow, and the anchor when storms arise. You will not be immune to hardship, but your posture will shift. You will face trials from a place of victory already won in the secret. Your testimony will be more than an anecdote. It will be a sign that others can follow into the same experience of my living presence. And many will be drawn to the reality you embody. This is how generations are raised out of famine into feast. This is how a life becomes a city of refuge for the weary. Tonight is not only your purchase of restoration, it is the opening of a table around which many will be fed. Receive it, steward it, and let the ripple of what you have eaten travel beyond you into places you cannot yet see. The sleeping world will wake to the sound of my movement because you chose to rise and answer the call. Chosen one, hear the weight of my voice as I describe what unfolds when covenant is born in your life. A covenant is no casual promise. It is a blood-sealed, heaven-witnessed agreement that rearranges lineage, authority, and destiny. When a covenant is made between you and me, the unseen realm reorders itself on your behalf. This is not a ritual of words, but an ontological shift. Abraham's meal with me did more than mark time. It altered the course of a nation. Moses' obedience at my command on Sinai did not result in mere instruction. It produced tremors that moved the earth and the seas. When my son said, "Take, eat, this is my body," the veil was rent and eternity touched earth. Understand this. Covenant is not a soft promise you can tuck away. It is a solemn, binding alignment that fastens your life to my sovereign timeline and opens doors that human hands cannot unseal. When I place my honey before you and I say, "Eat," it is as if I set a pen of liquid gold to the ledger of eternity and ask you to sign. Your participation is required. The act of eating is your assent, your agreement that my provision is better than every excuse you have held. This mouthful is the moment you step out of the precarious calendar of human planning and into my eternally appointed sequence. Covenant is how I anchor your path into my destiny for you. It binds your decisions to my purposes. And in that binding, the wheels of heaven begin to turn in your favor. Do not reduce this to ceremony. Your yes is the mechanism by which the blessings, protections, and authorities that dwell in my courts are released into your world. The invisible reaction to covenant is immediate and unmistakable. Angels who are waiting at their posts leap at the sound of your ascent. They are dispatched with tasks to open what human effort could not. Where there was bolt and bar, there will be a crack. Where there was silence, voices will rise on your behalf. Those who ignored you will be stirred to remember. Those doors that were fused shut by time and circumstance will begin to creak and swing. Streams that were blocked will find channels and begin to move. Because heaven's economy recognizes covenant activation and reroutes blessing accordingly. This is not chance. It is the orchestration of my sovereign favor responding to a willing heart. See how covenant operates in Scripture and let it settle in your bones. The simple actions Moses took under my instruction produced seismic consequences. Landmarks of authority were established, and nations trembled. Abraham's eating sealed a promise that redirected a lineage. When my son gave bread and wine to his followers, he inaugurated an eternal exchange that changed the way humanity relates to God. Even small gestures of faith, touching a garment in humility, offering a sacrifice in obedience, became the threshold through which my power moved. The woman who reached to touch the hem of my garment did more than break a rule. She entered a covenantal encounter, and her bleeding ceased. The man who accepted mud on his eyes did more than comply with a method. He stepped into an agreement that yielded sight. These acts were not formulas, but they bore the sign of entry into my life and authority. Do not mistake covenant for a formula you can manipulate. It requires posture. The spiritual condition demanded is trust, a radical, wholehearted trust that chooses my word over fear. There is dignity in consent. Heaven honors the will that willingly says yes. The requirement is simple to state and deep to practice. You must say, you must eat, you must enter. Participation completes the circuit. Spectatorship keeps blessing outside. Participation invites my presence to settle within. When you move from watching to doing, the heavenly circuit is closed and power flows through you. Covenant changes the terms of engagement with life. You will observe natural signs that testify to supernatural realities. Closed doors begin to open, relationships that were cold thaw. Opportunities previously stalled begin to bud and then flourish. Money that was stuck in places of delay will begin to circulate. Connection points you once lacked will align. These changes are not superficial. They are the outward evidence of an inward realignment. Heaven's favor is not random. It is lawful within the realm of my authority. And covenant is the key that unlocks that law for your life. Expect the evidence of my response to be gradual at first, then unmistakable as the momentum grows. Angels are not ornamental. They are my ministers dispatched to assist those who receive covenant. When you consent, you summon a host that stands at attention. The Father's full gaze rests upon the one who has eaten. My attention is turned in a concentrated way toward your life. Where demonic assignments once prowled for weakness, they now sense a change and begin to retreat. This is the palpable shift of authority. The spiritual atmosphere rearranges itself, appointments fall into place, and protection is heightened. I do not promise an absence of opposition, but I promise that opposition will meet a different power. one aligned with covenantal reality. Hear the tone of my faithfulness in these words and let fear dissolve. I will make an everlasting covenant with them. I will not turn away from doing them good. I will set my fear in their hearts that they shall not depart from me. This is not a temporary assistance program. It is a settled, perpetual commitment. My covenant is not a fleeting favor. It is a sustained investment of myself in your life. When I bind myself to you, I plant presence, provision, and protection into the soil of your days, so that you will not be left where you once were. The promise is not dependent on human steadiness, but upon my unchanging will. Yet even the power of heaven does not override the dignity of your choice. I will not coerce your consent. Love thrives in freedom and requires your assent. Eat then as an act of trust. With the motion of your hand and the word of your mouth, confirm your willingness to enter. By swallowing the symbol I give you, you declare that my provision outweighs your fear, and you place your timetable under my sovereign timing. This small obedience rewrites narratives of delay into testimonies of arrival. Do not believe the lie that covenant is reserved for the morally superior. It is not the currency of the flawless. Abraham began in doubt and was called into promise. Moses rose from uncertainty into commission. The woman with a private shame became a public miracle. Covenant is for the hungry, for those who are honest about their need and humble enough to receive. If you carry scars from seasons of disappointment, bring them to me. Place them upon the altar of my understanding, and watch as I repurpose those wounds into the very things that authenticate your testimony. When covenant is active, relational patterns will shift in ways you cannot engineer. Those who walked past you will return. Conversations that once stalled will take root. Vessels of provision will open, and finances that stagnated will begin to flow. The favor of heaven manifests in changes that first glance like coincidence and then stand revealed as God's fingerprint. Prepare to step through doors that surprise you. Align your actions with the openings you receive so that the momentum is not wasted by hesitation. Understand that covenant does not promise immunity from hardship. It promises empowerment within hardship. Trials will come, but their character changes. They become crucibles that shape rather than annihilate. Instead of being overwhelmed, you will stand in the fire with my presence refining you. The opposition you face will be used to elevate testimony rather than extinguish destiny. Covenant gives you the resources of heaven to walk through difficulty with my hand as your guide and my power as your provision. So do not delay. The offering is real and the sealing is immediate when you respond. Angels will mark your answer. Demons will notice their diminishing foothold. And the course of your days will begin to bend toward the purpose I ordained. This is the hour for faith to act. It is the instant where willingness completes the work I have begun. Participate now. Open your mouth to receive, open your hands to give, and step into the new reality I have prepared for you. Keep this promise in the depth of your being. When I make a covenant with you, I do not abandon what I have bound my name to. My presence becomes a settled thing in your life. It is not dependent on fleeting emotion, but anchored in my unchangeable will. Rise then and speak your assent. Eat and let the covenant I have offered become the axis around which your days revolve. Let it define the way you live, serve, and step into calling. For my covenant holds power to reorder your life into the fullness I intended from the beginning. Beloved child, hear me. Do not listen to the small voice that whispers, "What if nothing happens?" That voice is not faith. It is a thief that steals your yes by trading it for doubt. Fear will always invent outcomes where promises fail in order to keep you from stepping forward. When your soul queries the future and asks for ironclad guarantees before you move, you are listening to the enemy who rehearses worst-case scenarios to paralyze obedience. I say to you plainly, the test of faith is not designed to produce perfect certainty, but to reveal whether your heart will trust me despite the unknown. Do not allow manufactured uncertainty to rewrite the call I have placed upon you. Do not let the possibility that nothing might appear become the reason you refuse to eat the very feast I have prepared. Doubt sounds practical, but it is a liar dressed in reason. Obedience hears my word and acts. Now, make your confession and let heaven hear it. Proclaim with the voice I give you, "Yes, Lord, I will eat." Speak this aloud. Do not keep your decision as a private wish. When you declare your yes publicly, the courts of heaven register the sound, and angels are dispatched with purpose. A public declaration is not vanity, but covenantal participation. It announces your alignment with my will and signals the enemy that his strategy of delay will no longer hold dominion. In the place where you vocalize your assent, power gathers and momentum begins. Heaven responds to the audible faith of those who refuse to remain silent. I stand at your door and knock, not as a distant storyteller, but as the one who desires to eat with you. As it is written, I stand at the door and knock. If anyone hears my voice and opens, I will come in and sup with him. Open the door of your heart and invite me to the table. The invitation is intimate, sacred, and urgent. The banquet is not a distant image, but a present reality, and your chair has been kept for you. You have left it empty too long, while lesser matters crowded your attention. Now the summons is urgent. Come and sit. Imagine the table I set before you. A feast of promises that have been preserved in my timing. Platters of restoration seasoned in my wisdom and a cup of covenant poured from my heart. The aroma of provision rises and stirs something in you that longing alone could not satisfy. These are not trinkets of consolation, but the real provisions of my kingdom. Healing that closes old wounds, restoration that reconnects what was broken, breakthroughs that overturn the patterns of loss. Bend low and taste. Do not refuse the meal because your hands shake. The bread I place in your hands is both nourishment and sign, and it contains authority that rewrites what despair has written in your days. This is the hour of final boarding. Think of a golden train steaming at your station, the conductor calling the names of those who will ride. Hear the urgency in the whistle. The momentum of my kingdom is moving, and the last boarding call is being sounded. If you remain on the platform consumed by fear, you will watch the train that bears your destiny depart into the horizon and never return for you. My movements have cadence and timing. They do not stall indefinitely for those who hesitate. Step aboard with the faith of one who knows I am faithful, and do not allow regret to be the story you tell. When you choose to receive, expect transformation that is both immediate and sovereign. Healing linked to seasons of silent suffering will begin to unravel and make way for restoration. What bled without ceasing will be staunched. What sightlessness claimed your path will be opened. What decay has eroded your hope will be restored and renewed. I do not merely repair, I renovate. In some instances, the work will be instant and unmistakable. In others, gradual and thorough. But in every case, my hand will be evident. The process is my workmanship, and your obedience is the permission I require to begin. The rhythm of response is simple. Say the word of assent, receive with faith, and steward with obedience. Do not treat the miracle as a mind-only experience to hoard. Steward it in humility that it may multiply. Open your hands to give, open your life to serve, and open your heart to bless others. When covenantal favor arrives, respond in ways that show you value what I have done, rather than acting as if it were merely yours to consume selfishly. Generosity, stewardship, and faithful management keep doors open and allow my provision to continue to expand. You must not allow a single hesitating moment to become the headline of your days. The story of the one who nearly obeyed and turned back is a tragedy of missed inheritance. I have prepared mercy and purpose too deep for you to shrink from the threshold. The enemy will whisper convincing reasons to stay, but you must distinguish his counsel from my voice. Choose me. When you declare your yes, the heavens celebrate. Angels align, thresholds open, and instruments that once held you captive begin to release their grip. The sound of your assent is a victory shout in the courts above. Place your trust in the plainness of this moment. If you are prepared to lock your will to mine, say it and mean it. Vocalize the decision. Yes, Lord, I will eat. Let this declaration be the hinge upon which your future swings. If you cannot bring yourself to speak this in private, then speak it before others and allow community and the heavens to bear witness. Your declaration may be the catalyst that frees another from delay. Your courage might become the bridge across which someone else steps into blessing. Faith has communal consequences. Your yes matters beyond your own life. Recognize the mercy and the consequence in my invitation. Mercy, because I offer the feast and its blessings. Consequence, because refusal carries cost. This is not caprice, it is divine order. I will not impose myself upon a will that declines, for love must be given and received freely. Yet when you consent, you align your path with a timeline that is not constrained by human delay. The assignment of favor follows those who say yes. Consent brings synchronization with my rhythm and places your life under my sovereign sequence, where favors move in alignment with my purpose. Do not presume that covenant is reserved for the flawless. It is not an elite currency for the morally immaculate. Abraham wrestled with doubt and was called into promise. Moses moved from uncertainty into commission. The woman who touched the hem of my garment came with shame and left with healing. Covenant is for the hungry, for those who are honest about need and humble enough to receive. Bring your scars before me and place them on the altar of my presence. I will repurpose them into the sealings of testimony that will authenticate the power I place upon your life. Relational patterns will shift as a consequence of covenant. People who passed by you in seasons of obscurity will be drawn back into your orbit. Conversations that once stalled will find momentum. Vessels of blessing will open. And finances that were stalled will begin to flow in surprising ways. These external signs are not the goal, but the evidence. Footprints of my invisible work. Prepare to walk through doors you did not expect and to steward openings that come with weight and responsibility. Align your actions with what you receive, so momentum is not wasted. Covenant does not mean exemption from trials, but it does change the character of those trials. Hardship will not disappear simply because you have said yes, but you will be strengthened to stand through the refining work. Trials become crucibles of testimony instead of tombs of despair. You will find that you have resources, spiritual emotional, and relational that were not evident before. These resources become the engine by which you advance when opposition arises. Covenant bestows resilience and grants you a different posture within the storm. Therefore, do not postpone your response. The sealing occurs in the moment of willingness. Angels will mark the day, and heaven will align. This hour is appointed for faith to move from conjecture to action. Participate now. Speak the word, receive the feast, and steward the blessing. Allow your life to be reconstituted under my covenantal hand so that your days will reflect the goodness I intended from the first breath I breathed into you. Type 7 to 77 in affirmation and share this message with someone who needs to hear that destiny can turn on a single yes. Remember, chosen one, your spoken yes is the hinge of destiny. Your willingness to eat summons heaven's response. Do not delay. Covenant takes effect the moment you consent. Rise now, declare readiness, and step aboard the golden train into the fullness I have prepared. Chosen one, hear these closing truths that I impress upon your heart as the curtain of this hour draws to a hush and my presence lingers. First, know without any shadow of doubt that you are not forgotten. I see the tears you have shed in the quiet of the night. I know the street and house where your name is written. I have watched your midnight prayers and recorded every sigh. Nothing you carried in solitude escaped my sight. I have prepared this precise moment for you because I saw you long before you ever knew to call my name. Your long nights have been noticed, and the very detail of your pain has driven me to prepare an answer fashioned exactly for you. Second, understand the weight of this appointed time. There are seasons that are not merely chapters on a calendar, but divine summons that demand immediate response. To wait when I have sounded the call is to trade seconds of abundant life for an extended season of loss. Delay steals the currency of my moments. Hesitation converts potential harvest into missed bread. Your waiting has cost you more than comfort. It has taxed your inheritance. Now the appointed time has stepped into your days, and you must not treat it as ordinary. The clock of heaven strikes in its own cadence, and this hour is not one to be postponed. Recognize what is at stake and let urgency shape your yes. Third, comprehend that when you taste what I have prepared, the change is not private, but public. Eating the honey of my word and entering covenant with me does not only alter the inner chambers of your heart, it reorients the atmosphere around you. Your family feels the shift. Your friends begin to encounter favor. The communities you touch will be affected by the frequency you carry. Miracles do not remain solitary. They propagate. The healing that begins in you is a healing that touches those who stand near you. And your testimony becomes a beacon that invites others to come to the table I set. When covenant awakens in a life, the ripples spread broader than you can imagine. Therefore, I call you into community. You do not walk this path alone. We are your family. We are your prayer warriors standing with you. When you declare, I am ready to eat, write it so angels can register the sound and so those around you can stand with you in faith. If you need partnership in prayer, ask plainly, pray for me. Let others bear you in the place where you cannot yet stand alone. Share the testimony of movement when the Lord begins to work on your behalf so that the body of believers around you is strengthened and emboldened. This is the way my people advance, together, joined in supplication and mutual encouragement. Share this message with those who are walking through midnight seasons, with the one who has given up on miracles, with the friend who has convinced themselves they are no longer chosen. There are people tied in darkness tonight, whose destiny depends on hearing that heaven still calls them. Your sharing could be the divine nudge that places another soul at a table I set apart for them. Use your voice to reach the ones whose knees are weak and whose hope has thinned. Your obedience in passing this blessing forward can become the lifeline someone needs to step into their appointed time. Now consider your future self 6 months from today. Picture the way you will look back on this night if you obeyed my call. Will you remember the courage of the one who stood and said yes? The one who chose to eat when fear tried to dictate the hour? Or will you remember the one who nearly obeyed but turned away? Who let the golden train pull out while clinging to doubt? That thought is not meant to shame but to sharpen resolve. Faith is measured in hindsight as much as it is in the present breath. And I desire for your hindsight to be full of gladness rather than regret. Do not underestimate the moral gravity of small decisions. One spoken yes reverberates beyond the moment and writes a new paragraph in your life story. One refusal can become an echo that the enemy plays to headline your regrets. Choose accordingly. Remember that many who have walked into my presence found that the effort to obey was lighter than the burden of regret. There is a liberation that follows a simple step of faith. There is a removal of weight when you choose my way over the seduction of safety. Obedience writes a new script and releases my power to work in ways your caution could not imagine. As you make your decision, align your hands and mouth with what you believe. If you are ready to enter, type, "I am ready to eat." And know that with that simple public act, you are setting spiritual law in motion. If you need a band of intercessors to lift you, write "Pray for me," and a community will stand in the gap. If my mercy has already begun to move in your life, share a brief testimony so others hear the sound of my faithfulness and are emboldened to seek what they have not yet dared to ask. Encourage one another. Tell the story of the first breakthrough so faith can spread across hearts like a fire that warms a winter night. Beware the counsel that tells you to remain private in this season. Privacy can be sanctified, but secrecy that hides decision is a trap. Public confession of covenantal desire is both obedience and protection. When you voice your intention, the heavens take note, and the enemy must contend not only with your heart, but with a host of intercessors who now lift you. Community strengthens the fragile and amplifies the voice of faith. Do not let pride or fear keep you from the help I provide through others. Humility in confession invites my power to move through the body of believers for your sake. Consider also the stewardship that follows blessing. When doors open and favor arrives, steward what I entrust to you with fidelity. The covenant you enter is not merely to gratify personal desires, but to enlarge the reach of my kingdom through your life. Use what you receive to serve, to bless, and to multiply. Generosity is the currency of covenant. It proves that you value my gift more than your comfort. I do not ask for sacrifice to punish, but to position you as a conduit. The way you handle increase will determine the breadth of what I continue to flow through your hands. Let me assure you, beloved, that the 3 truths I spoke remain unwavering. You are not forgotten. This is your appointed hour, and your obedience will shift more than you expect. Let those truths settle into the marrow of your being and become the posture from which you live. If doubt rises, return to them as to a refuge. If fear knocks, answer with these declarations. Speak them aloud until the resonance of my voice drowns out the whisper of the thief. Make them the steady drum that keeps your feet in step with my will. Finally, receive the charge to be a carrier of this message. Do not hoard the revelation you have tasted. Pass it forward. When you see someone bowed under the night, offer them an encouraging word. When you encounter those who have walked away from hope, invite them back to the table. Your testimony is a lamp to those still on the path. The community I call you to is not passive. It is a movement of rescue, restoration, and relentless prayer. Be diligent to call others into the same feast that has fed you. Now, in this very moment, make your choice. Will you be the one who stood and opened the door for heaven to enter? Or will you be the one who let fear hold the pen that writes your days? I have set the table. I have sounded the train. I have placed the invitation in your hands. Speak now. Declare your readiness. Ask for the prayers you need, and share what I do in you, so that many may be drawn to the same feast. Choose life. Step into covenant, and watch how my goodness rewrites your days, restores what was lost, and positions you as a living proof that heaven still moves on behalf of those who obey. Beloved, we have come to the end of the message today. I thank you for staying with me through this entire message. Your perseverance in listening is the sign of a heart prepared for what I will speak next. I have watched you remain when others walked away. That endurance is noticed in heaven, and it opens you to the next word I have reserved especially for you. If my word has moved in you tonight, do not keep it to yourself. Declare what you have received. Share a testimony, ask for prayer, or write, "I receive this word," so the community can stand with you and agree with heaven. Reach out and share this message with someone who is walking through a season of silence, a relative whose voice has been muffled by fear, or a friend who battles wars not their own. You may be the instrument that places them at the table I have set. Subscribe to this channel and ring the bell. Heaven is not finished speaking through this vessel. There are more seasons of revelation coming, and you will not want to miss the moments I will bring. Until we meet again in the next word from heaven, I give you simple and sacred instructions. Be still in my presence, remain faithful in the small things, and watch as I move. Silence is not absence. It is the space in which I form my work. Faithfulness draws my hand. Patience invites my timing. Keep a posture of expectancy and quiet obedience. The harvest will answer the wait. Go now, chosen one. Walk in the steadiness I place upon you, and know that you are seen, you are chosen, and you are loved. I will speak to you again. Prepare your heart. Great things are coming soon.